أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
Next, we are going to look into developing a comprehensive search strategy. Now, how do we devise a strategy to search when conducting a systematic literature review? Now, an effective search strategy ensures that all relevant literature is captured systematically and reproducibly. Start with identification of keywords and key concepts from your research questions. Now, for example, I'm conducting a research on corporate social responsibility. Now, here the keywords include social responsibility or corporate social responsibility, CSR, or in other words, there could be business social responsibility, sustainability as well, or there could be other words that are used interchangeably with corporate or for corporate social responsibility. It could be business sustainability. It could be corporate social performance as well. So you have to identify the keywords that identify the concept. You have to identify the synonyms or related terms or spelling variations like behavior. So it's written with a U and without a U. Similarly, organizational. So it's written with a Z and an S as well. So you have to understand that there are synonyms for a concept as well. There could be related terms as well. There could be spelling variations as well. One should clearly understand and identify all these variations before going in to search the relevant material. Now you have to combine a search terms using Boolean operators, that is and, or not, to broaden or narrow the results. Consider using date limits, language filters, or document types depending on your review scope. Now, obviously, there has to be some limits identified. Normally, we do have date limits, language, or document types. So, for example, you are conducting a systematic literature review for the past 10 years, or maybe 5 years, or maybe 15 years. You are conducting on those papers that are written in English and those that are published in different journals. Make sure to document the entire process. What keywords were you using? What databases did you search? What filters did you use? Now, this will enhance the transparency and reproducibility. How many results did you get when you initially searched and with what keywords? What were the changes in the results with the change in the keywords, with the change in the databases, with the application of different filters? Now, you may create a table whereby you write what changes you made and how did it affect the results. Now, write all these steps, whatever change you make and how it affects the results. Now, for example, if you're using Google Scholar, this is one of the search string, and in this case, and is default when using Google Scholar. So for example, I'm searching on remote work or commuting, or employee productivity or performance. Now, you can use the word performance or employee productivity to search for employee performance. Now, for technology, you can have technological firms, technology firms, IT companies. Now, these are synonyms. These are related terms. Remote work or telecommuting are synonyms. Now, for example, if I am conducting a research on corporate social responsibility, so again, there could be corporate social performance, corporate social responsibility, just simple social responsibility, business social responsibility, firm social responsibility. All these are related terms. And if you are using any other source to search like Web of Science or Scopus, this is how your string should look like. Now we've got an and here to combine the different terms. So this is how you can search your databases to find relevant articles. Now, for example, let me give you an example. Let's say my questions for systematic literature review is the antecedents and outcomes of corporate social responsibility. Now, in order to find an answer to this question, let's say if I'm using Google Scholar, so how should my search string look like? So my research is based on corporate social responsibility, its antecedents and its outcomes. So my research question is, what are the antecedents and outcomes of corporate social responsibility? So let's say if I first, and it's in, let's say, last 5 years or since 2020. So all in title, corporate social responsibility. It could be social responsibility. It could be business social responsibility. It could be business sustainability as well. Again, whether to include a particular paper or not can be also based on how we conceptualize the term in our research. So moving on. Now in this case, let's say these are the variants of corporate social responsibility. Now again, you have to have an or in between these words. Now when we are assessing the antecedents and outcomes, normally what happens is we've got different terms that appear in the title. So it could be impact, or it could be role, or it could be, let's say, mediation, or it could be moderation. Now, or it could be, let's say, we keep it simple, let's say we moderating and mediating role. So this is how my search string looks like, and I'm going to press enter. Let me copy this. Now let's say we do it since 2021. You can have a custom range as well. Now if we look here, it's giving us the results where the papers have these words. And most of these papers, if you look here, are actually showing us that CSR or corporate social responsibility has been used maybe as an antecedent, as an outcome, as a mediator, as a moderator. So we have to open these papers and see whether they fit the requirement or not. Now moving on, you can further obviously go next. Again, now let's say we do not have access to Scopus or a Web of Science and we are searching Google Scholar. What next could you do? So let's say I'm only focusing on those journals that are listed in master journal list, and normally those journals are in the Web of Science. So let's say I go to master journal list, and when I open master journal list, let's say, shall I use this? Let's say, shall I use this particular article or not? So I'm just going to copy the title of the journal and I'm going to put it in here, and let's see if it's there or not. So administrative sciences is there, so I can use this paper. Similarly, let's go back to number 1. Let's say if we look here, let's say this paper. Shall I include this paper? Copy, and I'm going to search again. Enter. International Journal of Professional Business Review. Well, it is not in the list, so I can skip this particular paper. So this is how you can use master journal list and Google Scholar to search for relevant articles from peer-reviewed databases that are listed in master journal list. And again, you can do the same for Scopus as well. So you can search the journal in Scopus for a particular paper. Moving on. Identifying and selecting relevant databases and sources. Now, selecting the right source is critical to ensure that your review is comprehensive and includes high quality peer reviewed research. So, you are not going to review, read, and select information or data from all the papers that you get in your search results, specifically if you do not have access to Web of Science or Scopus and you're using other databases like or other sources like Google Scholar. Now, you have to choose the databases based on your discipline. For example, if you are in business management, you can use Scopus or Web of Science or Business Source Complete. If you are in social sciences, you can use PsycInfo, Sociological Abstracts, and others. If you are in health sciences, you can use PubMed. Now, consider the grey literature. Now, those that are reports or dissertations or conference proceedings, you can obviously avoid these to have or to avoid publication bias. Now, evaluate the credibility and scope of each database. Now, again, to do so, what I normally do is, since I'm a student of social sciences and in particular business and management, I focus only on Scopus and Web of Science. So if a journal is listed in Scopus and or Web of Science, obviously I include that particular journal and its publications or papers. Now keep a record. Whatever you do, remember, create an Excel sheet, create a Word document, create a table. Whatever you do, any change that you make in your search, any changes that you make in your search strategy, keywords, databases, whatever changes, record it, because you will need that when you're writing your methodology for your systematic literature review. Make sure, when did you search, what keywords did you use, what were the synonyms, what were the related terms, what filters did you use. Every single click must be documented. Now, create a spreadsheet or use reference management softwares like EndNote, Zotero, or Mendeley to track your search across databases. So, when do we stop searching? So, there are a few tips. Determine that your search strategy is working. So if your search strategy is working, you'll know that it is working when your search results include major studies, sources that have been recommended, or after a quick analysis of a few articles, you can tell they meet your criteria. Obviously, if you are getting search results, and which we did when we used that string in Google Scholar, you have searched all relevant databases. You've used the citation searching techniques as well. Now, again, there is another way, or there's one other thing. For example, you've got a paper. Now, go to the references of that particular paper and see if maybe if you have missed a paper that is in the end reference list, but you couldn't find it. Again, there's one more thing that one can do. For example, if this paper is to be included, let's say this paper. So go to cited by and see if any of these papers you may have missed. So you can include these as well.